Just as death seemed final, a stranger walked up, touched the coffin, and stopped the entire funeral procession in its tracks. The crowd moved solemnly through the dusty streets of Nain, following a heart-wrenching sight: a young man's lifeless body carried in a coffin, his mother walking beside him in mourning. This wasn't just any woman. She was a widow, and this young man was her only son, her only family. Grief clung to her like a dark cloud, her face etched with sorrow. For her, this loss was more than the death of her son. It was the loss of her livelihood, her hope, her future. As the procession reached the town gate, a new group approached. It was Jesus, his disciples, and a crowd of followers. When Jesus saw the grieving mother, he didn't just see a woman in mourning, he saw her pain, her despair, and her vulnerability. And in that moment, he was moved with deep compassion. Jesus approached the woman, and gently he said to her, "Do not weep." The words, simple yet powerful, caused a stir in the crowd. Why would anyone tell a grieving mother not to cry? Then, in a move that took everyone by surprise, Jesus stepped forward and touched the coffin. This simple act stopped the entire procession in its tracks. Every eye was on him, watching as he turned his gaze to the lifeless body inside. In a clear, commanding voice, Jesus spoke, "Young man, I say to you, arise." In an instant, something miraculous happened. The young man opened his eyes, took a breath, and sat up in the coffin. Gasps filled the air as he began to speak. People looked on in awe, barely able to process what they were seeing. It was as if life itself had returned at the command of this man. Jesus then took the young man's hand, and with a look of gentle authority, helped him down from the coffin and returned him to his mother. Her eyes filled with tears, not of sorrow this time, but of pure, overwhelming joy. She embraced her son, feeling the warmth of life in him once again. The crowd could hardly contain their amazement. Murmurs and exclamations of, "A great prophet has arisen among us," and "God has visited his people," rippled through the onlookers. What they had witnessed was nothing short of divine intervention, a moment where death itself was reversed in the presence of Jesus. And from that day forward, the story of the miracle at Nain spread like wildfire, filling people's hearts with hope and reminding them of a powerful truth. When Jesus steps in, even the impossible can happen.